Hello, welcome to part 2 of this reading on the Tarot Tuesday. So if you're just catching this version, you may want to go back and find the initial reading that I did prior to this, because it tells you why the cards are laid out the way they are. And one of the reasons why I'm doing a part 2 is because as I sat with these cards, just like when I originally started with Thoth Tarot this week, I said it was really important not to have too many cards out because this is full of so much information. And so we've been working with Crowley Oracle and Thoth Tarot deck. And what I saw after I sat with the reading, after I, uploaded it and everything, and I was still sitting with the cards. And what it appears to be, because this says there's a predestined series of events that are due to occur during divine timing. Now, that's very vague because divine timing can be different for each one of us. It could be a planetary divine timing. It could be whoever's watching this. So that is a vague moment. But it's saying that paths of people with whom you have soul contract with is kind of like being integrated, which could also, it's a little bit vague, but it could also mean very specific people that you've been working with, or something coming together, a marriage, so to speak, through this person and this person, or maybe ideas, because there's swords energy, and then there's this beautiful wands energy. So this is air and fire. And we are in the year of Aquarius, or I think, I can't remember how long, it's like 20 years that we're in Aquarius. And it is the time of more information, more air energy coming through, and which is more ideas, more thinking, but it could also be more confusion, right? Because as we all know, air comes through sometimes very quickly, and we don't get all the information if we're not ready for it. And then, but in the middle of all this, we have this strength and completion. And that's what I'm feeling from this 9 card. Before this card came out, was that, things are coming together that you've been working on in a variety of different ways that are coming to an end. And it creates something else, right? When something ends, something else opens up. And that's what yesterday's message was all about, was about ending something and opening something new up, like something, like getting rid of old stuff so we can make space for what wants to come in now. And with this completion card, that's what it was saying. It was saying that when you have elements that come together and create a third element in this particular way, it's creating stability. So when I got the Queen of Discs that came out talking about this balancing of energies, I was looking at the masculine and the feminine in a whole different way, because we have, like, just male energy in general is very, like, outwardly focused, right? It's very outwardly working. That is what the masculine energy is. And the feminine energy, which is very circular. So we have this masculine, divine masculine, outward focused energy. And we have this divine feminine with completion. And in this 4 is around balancing, right? And this is the divine feminine balanced energy, this very fast, very outwardly thinking masculine energy projecting outward. And in the middle of all this, we have a major shift, which is what this first card talked about, was a predestined event. We have this coming together of the masculine and the feminine in sacred union to create another layer. And what I heard as I was tapping into this message is that there is to see beyond the light, to see beyond what is right in front of us, to see beyond this. And then I was seeing for the first time, this is the feminine, this is the masculine. And in the middle here is this opportunity, this choice point that is beyond, it's a predestined event that masculine and feminine are meant to balance. And it's interesting because even in the cards here, The masculine is over here and the feminine is over here. It is literally being mimicked in the cards that are coming out here. And there is this sacred union, literally this wand that comes through in the middle that is illuminating something beyond the obvious here in this sacred union. So that's the reason why I really wanted to go further. And I was hearing to bring in additional oracle from the Tree of Life. It is this symbol here that I am most interested in. So I'm going to ask if there's a message in this group of cards here. I feel like I need to shuffle them. That is going to complete, and I guess it's this one. Wow. So, yeah, so the card that stayed on the table is the one that we're taking. This is 20, which again reduces to 2, which is around the union, the coming together of something. And as you can see, there's a light here. And it's asking us to look beyond the light. And the light, this is an outward focused lantern, but the Hermit is all about going inward. That's the light beyond the light that we're seeing outside. And it's this union is happening, and it's asking us the commitment to what is happening in the world. There's a spirit, there's spiritual guidance. This Hermit, the reason why he always has a lantern is because going within your heart, going within in silence is really the way shower. It's the way to go. Going inward is the way to know what to do on the outward life, what we're living on a day-to-day. So the path that is being illuminated here from the Hermit is, I'm going to read just a little bit of what it says. The guidance here is asking us to open ourselves up to higher awareness, to those who have gone before, but they are no longer here. So the wisdom that we carry in our DNA, the wisdom that we carry from all of our ancestors, the ancestors of the planet, of the star seeds, everything are showing us the way to create this union between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. This is the masculine as we know it. This is the feminine as we know it, right? This is, and it's interesting that we have the Queen of Discs, because I think this is also representing Gaia, the earth, the earthly energy that is here, that is feminine. It says you're moving into a new way of being on your spiritual journey and may become part of the way forward, the light. This time of awakening has come after a period of review on a soul level. You're no longer where you want to be. You're ready to reach much more. And I think we're all feeling like that. I feel that. I've been feeling like that for a year, that I'm meant to go somewhere else. It's not that I'm meant to be bigger than I am. It's meant because I feel like I've achieved something where I am, and you may be feeling the same way. It could be in your job that it's no longer working for you, or relationships that you have. A lot of things are shifting here on the planet. So that's what, it's saying what's no longer. Illuminate the path with clear thinking, right? That's what it's asking for. So I'm going to draw some final messages in this chapter 2 here. Thank you so much for sitting with me for this extended message, because originally I was going to put out a moon reading, and then I saw this incredible reading coming together. So with the addition of the Hermit and what we have now learned, is there additional message from Thoth? And Thoth is a, oh, look at this. We have the Queen of Cups. This is more feminine energy. This is all about this intuitive force. When you are intuitively aware, it's so interesting. And it's funny because I almost put it over here, and I was like, no, I got to put it over by the other woman, but I think it's supposed to go on this side, because it feels like this is the green and the heart energy. And that's what the Queen is really representing. The heart energy, the intuitiveness. Masculine energy is all in their head, and they have discounted the feminine aspects of themselves and discounted the women in the world, because we have decided that intuition is, because the masculine side doesn't lean into intuition. It leans into outward focus, where the feminine leans into wholeness, into the womb space, into the intuitive space, into the heart space. And this is the masculine version of that in the Hermit. And this is the feminine version in the Queen of Cups. It's asking us to go within our heart, to go within our intuitive knowing as females, as women, into what this moment is asking of us, which is all about being in awareness, because the feminine works with elements that the masculine does not. It just intuitively, naturally works in a way that completes the circle. And the masculine works in a way that penetrates the circle to be able to inject itself. And if we see that we need both of these sides to be in perfect union for what is coming, what this predestined events is happening, this is something beyond what we have ever seen before. I feel like is coming in right now. All right. Lastly, what is this? Oh, wow. So in these, we have 2 3s. Oh my gosh, I don't think that this is coincidence. And it's the masculine, which is denoted by sorrow. This is the swords energy that we were just talking about. And the feminine, which is the cups that we were just talking about here with abundance. They're both, sorrow is all about heartbreak. And what I'm hearing from this, because you can also see this green energy, is that the masculine heart has been broken for a number of years and hasn't known how to accept their own brokenness, and therefore has been fighting everybody else, including its divine counterpart, the divine feminine, and discounting everything and punishing everyone around them, which creates this brokenheartedness. And there's a moment right now where this, and I feel like this is like the divine rose energy. There's a sacred energy that's happening right now that is bringing these elements back together. I'm going to go back to the Thoth Tarot to find out what it's saying about the 3, which is, so in the 3 of Cups, it brings in Mercury in Cancer. And this is a new moon in Cancer right now. And this new moon is asking for us to go in and tap into our own truth, our own intuitive self, because that's where the abundance is. And when we look at this outwardly focused swords energy here, this is bringing Saturn and Libra together, which means this is the balancing. We need to balance something here, the Saturn energy. And I, like, some of you may know what Saturn represents. I think Mars is of war, but Saturn is bringing something in at this particular moment. And it represents the sword of the magician being able to cut through this two, I think what it's saying is it's cutting through this pain, this sorrow, this heartbreak. The background shows crystallization and storm. This is the darkness of the great sea. So it's like the heart has been crystallized or has been brought into what, you know, we say when people are in war. Like, you can't do that with an open heart. You have to have a hardened heart, a closed heart. That's this breaking through the crystallized heart. The 3 of Swords is all about seeing the heartbreak of what's been going through and breaking through that so you can move forward. Moving forward into an open-hearted, abundant state. And that's when the marriage of the divine feminine and masculine becomes complete. That's the bringing together of these forces. It's like father, mother creates child. It's when the masculine heartbreak is accepted and the divine feminine gifts of abundance and love and flowing energy and our own intuitive self. That's the masculine accepting the masculine wounding, and the feminine accepting its divine grace and loving, nurturing self. These two come together because the feminine has not been able to be in her intuitive state. She's been denied that and asked to be more masculine and outwardly focused. And the masculine has not been able to be in the feminine state of being able to accept its woundings and its heartbreak, and therefore has closed his heart off and become more outwardly brain-oriented focus. Something is coming together, I believe, at this time that is going to allow the masculine and the feminine woundings to be healed, and that we will see beyond into this new era where we can see things for what they are. No more pretending like somebody is going, if you see them, you're going to see their woundings, if they've healed or not. You're going to be able to, whether it's masculine and feminine, but there is this divine moment, I feel like, almost like a spark that comes through, which is being denoted by this light for the masculine, the feminine to come together in this divine union, which is what has been the separation over thousands of years between men and women, the great divide in many different cultures between the hierarchical of the man and the subservient of the woman. And that is also the planet when the divine feminine is the strength and the masculine is the outward focus of doing. But when you do just from a closed-hearted space and only thinking, then you're destructive. When you are in your intuitive state, you can help the doing aspect. The doing helps move forward into this union. I hope I'm making sense to all of you. This was a lot of fun to do. Thank you for joining me here at the channel for this extended message. It's very exciting. No matter how you look at this, I believe there is this beautiful opportunity right now for men and women to come together in an awareness of each other's gifts and to honor each other for what they bring, instead of trying to make one less than the other. We are equals that work. When we work together, we create strength and a foundation of complete union. We release our sorrows and step into our abundance through the guidance that we all hold within us of this really beautiful acceptance of the feminine and the releasing of the pain of the masculine. So thank you for being here. Have an amazing day. Bye now.